Welcome back, guys, to Studio B54. Where are we at? See, my wife's not home right now, so I gotta talk however loud I want. It's not that she doesn't let me, it's just that it's embarrassing doing this. Sometimes, like, it's embarrassing someone being here. And that's kind of weird because it's like I do stand up comedy. And I do it in front of people, and that's not embarrassing. But, like, when you're talking to a camera, somehow it feels embarrassing to a degree. I don't know. I think unless you do this, then you don't understand how kind of embarrassing it is. Because you're putting yourself out there, you know. And the movie we just finished watching was Christmas Crossfire. Damn. Good movie. An hour and 30 something minutes. Um, it's an action movie. It's on Netflix, but it's like what's it called? Like a foreign film because it's dubbed, and like what the the what's it called? The text was the subtitles don't match up with what they say sometimes. It throws me off sometimes because I'm like, okay, so like what really was the words that they wanted to use. I did not watch it in the original language because I'm not that much of a movie savvy person. So yeah, well, whatever, you watch it if you can. If I feel like if I understand the language, then I will do it. But if it's a language I don't know, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna read a movie. You know, fuck that. There's the thing that I took away from this movie is there's consequences to everything that you do, and it's just like they hit you over the head with this because it's like everything leads one thing leads to another, one thing leads to another because it's like you're choosing to do something. It's like, should I really be doing this? Because it's like it starts off with this Edda girl, I think. I don't know her real name, but it's like Edda. She's at a bar and she meets this like professor, and this professor, you know, is like nice dressed and stuff, and she's like, I bet you I could drink 5 shots before of vodka and I won't get drunk and you will. And they have a game like that, and they end up playing, and he ends up getting drunk. She doesn't look as drunk as he does, but they go back to his place, and his place is a van, and it's like, bro, just you know, just I don't know, man. Like, I'm not saying because there's a lot of people out there that lives in vans and shit like that, and everyone deserves love. But if a girl's gonna fuck you in a van, I don't know if she has low standards or something. Whatever. I can't really say much to that, but still, you know, like whatever. So he fucks, they fuck or whatever. They have sex. Um, she wakes up before he does, and like she looks at him naked and stuff. And they're like in Berlin, I think. And he's cold, and he's living in a van. He's like, "Oh, I'm a teacher, this and that." And then she's like, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "Why are you here?" And it's like, "Oh, it's because I'm." I don't know what he does. Like really, really, not really. There was like titties out and stuff. I wasn't really paying attention to what he was doing. So she's like, "How about this? How about we go out to the country and because it's close to Christmas. How about we go out to the country and we visit my family?" And he's like, "No, no." She doesn't really say the family part first. She just, "How about we go out to the country?" And then when they're out in the country, she's like, "We're really close to where my family lives, or something like that. We should go visit them." And it's weird because this is the first hookup. So she pretty much used him for a ride out of Berlin to this country, right? Out to the country. And they're at a stop sign or stop or something, and this guy pulls up behind him. And what I love that they're, I think it's pronounced antagonist. I think that's what it is. Antagonist is the evil guy, right? Let me just make sure. This is funny because I'm sorry, I laughed at something. Um, Antagonist. Mm, I don't know what that means. Anyways, the evil guys in the movie. I love that the evil guys in the movie because it's like in Europe and stuff. They drive pickup trucks. I love pickup trucks, man. I am a redneck boy. I'm not redneck, but like I am trashy. I mean, it's not trashy, but I love pickup trucks, man. It's just in my blood, in my culture. The bigger the truck, the more gas it uses, the giddier I get. You know, like if I could afford, and I could justify driving around like a Ford F-250 or a Dodge 2500 Cummins, like I would totally do it, but I can't. I can't justify it. And like if literally I had money to blow, I would, but no. Anyways, so I love that the main character Sam, he's driving a Mercedes van, like a Sprinter van, like that he converted into like a bookmobile, like a slash his apartment. Watch. Sorry about that. But we heard that right. I touched the little plugs at the bottom. Ooh. And the bad people in this movie are driving Dodge pickup trucks, which I found hilarious because I'm like, that's evil. Kind of like from a perspective like all Americans are kind of evil. I don't know what the fuck I took from that. So he gets into an altercation with a guy, and I don't know how they end up like in the woods. I forgot how they end up in the woods. And he's following this guy. I think they fall asleep in the woods or something, and he's following this guy, and he hears someone scream, and he goes like, "Oh no, like don't kill him," you know. And they're chasing. You know what? It takes a long time because I think it takes over like the span of 3 or 4 days, and he runs away, and he saves a man that was gonna get shot. He saves him, but he loses his girlfriend. Like his girlfriend is nowhere to be found. Well, it's not his girlfriend, the girl he met, right? He is nowhere to be found. And somehow they meet this weird guy that has like a sweat lodge or sauna, and then like the four people that were gonna kill the one guy, one of them ends up getting stabbed by the guy. It's just weird all over the place movie, you know. So then somehow they go back to the village where the girlfriend's family is from, and it turns out that the bad people kind of control that village. And they go to the father of the girl, and they talk to him because he's like an elder and he has say or something. Because like another thing that they talk about is that a lot of young people leave those villages, which is true. I understand people leave to try to get better themselves out and go into cities, but you don't think about the consequences that you leave a dying village. That's what happens, and I feel like I can I understand the anger maybe some people feel when they get left, like because the cop shows up, the cop for the village shows up, and he shows up and he was like a boyfriend of the Edna girl, the girlfriend, the female lead role. And he's like, "You don't remember me, do you? Like, you left our village, and now like I have to have an older wife." And his wife is like 10 years older, actually 13 years older than he is. But it's interesting what happens. Like I mean, my mother comes from a town, a village, or whatever in Mexico, where a lot of youth left and still leaves, and it's just towns filled with old people and women, and it's hard, but they say it's different here because it's like, for some reason, a lot of the women leave, and there's 4 men for every 1 woman. I don't know, about that, but there's just no opportunity to grow. And so Sam, the main character, meets his girlfriend's dad, but she doesn't know that the girlfriend or whatever, that they're in a relationship. And then once Sam realizes that the evil guy and that the husband and that the Sam, and then that when Sam realizes that the evil guy and his father-in-law, I'm gonna call him father-in-law, or just to simplify things, kind of are in cahoots. He like runs away, and he tries to find his girl again, but he ends up finding the guy that he saved in the beginning, and it turns out the guy that he saved in the beginning was in trouble because he slept with or fell in love with the wife of the what's it called, the evil guy, the main evil guy. And he was like, no one, has sex with my wife, this and that. But what turns out happening is that kind of because there's not that many women there, like, he professes her love, but like, I guess the evil guy doesn't really love his wife the way he should. So the wife doesn't. You really don't understand it because it's like, does the wife just like messing with people and she has nothing else to do, that she just wants to like be cruel and say that she doesn't love him, or did she just want to have a fling? It's not really explained, but at the end of it, she ends up saving her lover and taking him in a car, and like taking him away from the village and saving him. And there's this weird part at the end where like the evil guy shows up and rams the car of his wife and the lover, and he makes the wife get out. He's like, I'm gonna kill your boyfriend in front of you, this and that. And she's like, no, you're not, because if you kill him, we're not gonna be back to the way things used to be. And it's just weird because what ends up happening at the end of the thing is the evil guy, I guess, just he feels lost. He feels like he can't do anything. He can't pay his minions to work. He doesn't have any money. He didn't get the deal he wanted with. It does not explain what kind of a deal it is with the father of the female that Sam is having relations with. It's just a weird movie. Dude ends up shooting himself in like a carnival ride right before he's gonna get like murdered by Etta, I think her name is. And then it just goes back to a weird place where Sam and Etta go back to the family's house and they celebrate Christmas. I think there's a lot of cultural and like things that are weird or left out or stuff like that because of the translations. But you could kind of understand that everything you do has consequences. Your actions have consequences. That's the best thing I understood from me, because him having a relationship with the boss's wife, That was an action he had, and the consequence was that the boss tried to kill him. Sam had weird sexual relationships with this one weird woman, because you could tell she's kind of weird at the beginning, and he's in a weird predicament now. That's what I took from it. Honestly, I don't know how good. Now remembering, I don't know how good of a movie it was. If you have nothing to do, it's a good movie to watch. Maybe you'll learn something that I didn't learn from it, but I give it a 4.3 out of 10. Crossfire. If you want to watch it just for shits and giggles, it's funny. Like, there's titties in there and pretty good fight scenes and stuff like that. But did I understand the movie? No, there's no way. The only thing I could grasp is that your actions have consequences. That's the best that I got. Peace. Comment, like, and subscribe. If there's any movies you want me to check out, leave them in the comments. Peace.